Good day, dear teacher. My name is Vanessa Victor. I'm going to talk about of my first lesson plan. And in this moment, I'm going to talk about and explain how I will take my class. First, I'm going to explain the class through this poster. Then, students have to a short exercise where they practice the class that the teacher explained. And finally, the students have a short self-evaluation where the teacher uh, qualified the learning for the eight students. In this moment, I'm going to talk about detailing for step by step of the lesson plan. First point, we have the informative data. The topic is gerund and infinitive, and the date is May 11, 2020. This topic is applied for the students' first baccalaureate with 45 minutes. In the second point is the TOEFL objectives, where the objectives are identified and follow the instructions, and then accurately name the new vocabulary word and gerund and infinitive. Able to recognize the vocabulary words, and also able to construct their own sentence using information about the daily life. And this part is important for the student because practice force ability that are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. It's important for the student because throughout these activities, practice, for example, reading, listening, speaking, and writing. How? Listening, when the teacher explains, the student listens. Speaking, when the student had one question. And reading, when they read the activity, read the poster. And writing, when they write the answers and wherever. But the student practice in the whole form. It's necessary to apply these activities or these objectives because the student learn and practice their abilities or skills. Then we have number 3, methodology and strategies. The methodology are communicative language teaching and audiolingual method. These methodologies are important because communicative language teaching is when the teacher explains is communicative to the students. And audiolingual method is when the student listening and also speaking or through the teacher listen to the activity of the class, practice this method. In the strategies is For example, is the way to the follow to the class in the activities. For example, individual word, group word, and all the students were in class, wherever. But in this plan, I put that individual word because is a topic that a little complicated, but is a topic very easily for the student and also to learn. Next, we had the number 4, the anticipatory set, when the teacher talk about the difference between gerund and infinitive verbs, give some examples of them. And also, for example, with this didactic materials, explain the chart and refers the structure, gerund and infinitive. In this part, we are using the one material that is called in worksheet, or maybe flashcard, but it worksheet is flashcard because it had vocabulary. Then we had the number 5, the main teaching input, where the teacher explains step by step all the class that using for this moment to teach to the students. For example, where an activity when the teacher telling a story, applying with gerund and infinitive, teacher show the structure of the gerund in infinitive. Teacher gives to a student worksheet with example sentence. Teacher walk around checking a student for the activity. Teacher and a student check the answers together. And teacher monitoring correct pronunciations. And teacher and students concluding with a short evaluation. In this part, it's important to detail step by step because the is the point most important because the teachers know the order to apply or execute in the class. The number 6 is the modeling. The modeling is the student solving the exercise and explanations. The teacher and given that the beginning, a student developed this activity and also developed the skills. For example, students make this activity and then check with the teacher. Number 7 is guided practice. A student developed an activity about a completion of worksheet. This is worksheet. Teacher walked around the class in the monitoring this activity. At the end, check with all students the answers, all the students, all the group. In the number 8 is the independent practice. Independent practice is when the students finds, for example, 5 verbs in the search in the dictionary and write the sentence and using the gerund and infinitive. Is activity additional in the moment in the class. The number 9, we had the assessment. When the students have our worksheet and make sentences using the topic, gerund and infinitive forms, and the student were individual because it's a topic very easy, and the teacher check the answer at the final to do this exercise. In the number 10 is the closing review and follow-up. This class is concluded by self-evaluation. This is the self-evaluation that I created for my students in the moment for at the end in the class, and also for evaluate the student that they learn this topic, or also knowing the about this topic. Okay, this is all about the lesson plans number one that I choose. In this moment, I'm going to talk about a positive and negative aspect about this plan. The positive aspect is very important because through this plan, the teachers know order, and also in order to apply or execute the class with the students, and also the students through these materials practice, have the enthusiasm to practice and interact with other students, and also a student can answer the activity, answer about the topic and wherever, but it's necessary for this reason. The negative aspect is when, for example, the teacher don't apply the one-hour activity because sometimes students are sad, bored, I don't know, but in this part or in this moment, it's important to apply the activity because the students can be relaxing before at the beginning to the class. Generally, or in conclusion, it's important to create to the plans, taking in count about the levels, and also the topic for prepare didactic material and also the class. But this is all for me, teacher, about my first lesson class. Thank you very much.